Should we do a clap? A little slate.
A little slap and tickle. Just one. It's pretty echoey in here, actually.
Who's going to do it? Me or you? I tried to time up with you.
It's fucking it up. All right, we're keeping that in, too. But we're back. More than a year.
I wish we had the date of our... Actually, we probably do, right? I could probably pull it up, the date of our last show.
You should know. You had COVID.
Well, I know, like, the time of year it was. I'm not sure of the actual date.
It was, like, right after Christmas. It was probably, like, January 8th.
Ooh, close.
7th.
Try again.
9th.
Not that close. Maybe I was a little...
12th.
I was a little friendly with close. Higher.
23rd.
Now you've gone way too far. January 15th was the last Garage Party podcast episode. And it was not in person. It was done over Zoom.
And it sucked.
Because I had COVID. It was terrible. And essentially it killed the show for a year. This is how bad that episode was. Right? We could say that. It's fair.
Yeah.
We didn't do a show after that, right? So that show, for whatever reason, took it right down. But we're back.
Stronger than ever.
Stronger than ever. And we are, I mean, we've done the show in a garage before.
We got a new set.
But this is like full on in the garage from now on.
Yep, you got our real atmosphere of the garage going on in here.
I feel like we need to reintroduce ourselves to the audience, right?
Nope.
You think they just know who we are?
They know.
What if they're first-time listeners?
They've been dying to hear from us.
What if they didn't listen to us
They've
prior?
Been, like, constantly refreshing their Spotify feed, looking for us.
Are they like me, refreshing Twitter, hoping that the lockout for baseball ends?
Probably not. I don't think anyone's like you with that.
That's fair. I'll give you that.
Actually, that last episode we did is when we talked about getting season tickets.
Which we ended up doing.
Which we did do.
Have not been to a game yet,
though. There won't be a season.
There won't even be a season.
It may start sometime in, I don't know, August.
2025?
Yeah.
2024?
It's possible.
So today is March 5th. Is that correct?
Yes.
It is correct. March 5th, 2022. So if the last time you heard from us was January 15th, 2021. So it's actually over a year. So this is like a year and 3 months.
Almost 14 months.
Yeah. So this has been a while since we've interacted with our audience. So it's March 5th.
I haven't seen or talked to Rich since.
I know.
I just can't wait to hear about his life.
It's unbelievable. We have a lot to catch up. 14 months worth to catch up on.
Which
is not true at all. I've definitely seen Billy a decent number of times in the last 14 months. So, you guys, not so much, though.
No. Yeah.
So what's new? I think you need to fill in the audience, right? What's new?
See,
you don't just go 14 month by month. Just give me an overall. What has happened in the last 14 months that is worthy of these people knowing?
I don't know. You're really putting me on the spot. Now I'm starting to think that my life hasn't changed in 14 months, but it definitely has.
Sure it has. Give me something. You're a season ticket holder.
I am a Mets season ticket, half season.
Partial season ticket holder, I guess, right?
That's something to be proud of.
We were able to get, we're in not the same section, but we're close to each other. We're right across the aisle.
Yeah.
So technically we're sitting next to each other because there's no chairs in between us, but in between us is a big aisle.
Which we have not seen our seats yet. I don't know if you saw your seats. I haven't seen my seats.
Now, granted, it's March 5th, 2022, so we wouldn't have seen them yet anyway, but we're not going to see them at the time that we were supposed to. We were supposed to see them in about 3 weeks.
Maybe ever.
Who knows?
I'm not optimistic about it.
Neither am I. But we're getting off topic. The last 14 months. What has happened in your life that is worthy of telling the people?
I got nothing. I can't think of anything.
Nothing.
I had a birthday.
Every day's a birthday, Jack.
I had a birthday.
Yeah.
Since then.
Okay. It's pretty awful 14 months, it sounds like.
Hey, there was a birthday in there. Richard got engaged.
I did get engaged. In fact, that was my 14-month thing. I don't have anything else. Literally nothing else.
We did some traveling. We went to the Grand Canyon together.
We did. We went to, we got to see the Grand Canyon. Billy got a couple nice pictures of a squirrel.
A squirrel at the Grand Canyon.
Correct.
A Grand Canyon squirrel. He was on the edge of the Grand Canyon. This squirrel was living like no other squirrel.
As was Billy. Billy was on the edge of the Grand Canyon.
Yes.
To take some of these pictures.
But it was scary, but I didn't go to the scariest part of it. There was people like literally on the edge of like one of the biggest cliffs imaginable.
I think it might be the biggest, right? Isn't
Probably
the Grand
the
Canyon like
biggest
the biggest hole?
I mean, there may be bigger cliffs on like mountains and stuff.
But this one was pretty big.
The grandest hole you can fall into. Some people stand on the edge of it.
The grandest hole you can fall into, huh?
What else do you call it?
I think it's a little bit more than a
I
hole.
Do I sound more echoey than you?
Maybe.
Yeah. Hey, wait, oh, wait, oh, wait.
I think you sound pretty good.
Hey.
You sound pretty good.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. Actually, do you have a question? I know you said you had something before.
I'll save it.
You'll save it?
Yeah, yours seems to be at the tip of your tongue already.
What are 3 things that you could buy at a grocery store that would make the cashier think that you're a weird person?
Rope, Vaseline, and what's the third one that's really weird? Like Men's Health magazine.
Men's Health magazine, rope, and Vaseline. There's a good chance that 2 out of those 3 are not sold at grocery stores.
Rope?
Rope is definitely
Might be
not at a
rope.
grocery store. I don't think so.
Okay.
Like your local Stop and Shop.
Stop and Shop. Okay. Petroleum jelly.
I don't think they have that either.
A head of lettuce and Men's Health magazine.
You really find people who buy Men's Health magazines pretty weird, huh? You think?
I don't know. Sounds weird to me to buy a Men's Health magazine.
And a head of lettuce.
This is comfy, right?
I like this. I got a little armrest.
Armrest.
You'll notice that the headsets are gone. Not completely gone. We still got headsets, but they don't. Not the headset mic.
This
I like this little. I like this better actually. This is. I think Billy said it best. This is almost like the Freddie Mercury look. You know, where we can kind of just take it and run across stage. Makes you feel like a rock star.
we got to bedazzle ours though.
Maybe we like dress them up. Make them a little bit more.
Does this sound good over here? Eh? Huh?
By the way, March 5th, 2022, the return of the Garage Party podcast. Not a warm day in Bayside. I'm a little cold in here.
Yeah.
It's a little chilly. Maybe it's because we've been sitting here for a while now.
But with this cap, it's not terrible.
No, it would have been worse if that giant hole was still there. Not
Maybe-
as giant as the Grand Canyon, but
Maybe
still a
we
big
just
hole.
need like a sponsorship from North Face or something to get us through the rest of the cold
Or
weather.
a space heater company.
Space heaters are good.
But space heaters in a tight spot, that's like rule number 1, right? You don't want to do that.
Well, there's electric ones that I think are safe, right?
Sure.
But also, would it make a noise? Some of those things could be noisy.
I think they would have to, right?
Also, what even is a space heater company? Can you name one?
No, but I could tell you where to get one.
Walmart.
Best Buy.
Walmart can sponsor us.
That's a nice sponsorship.
Best Buy, Amazon.
Sure. Amazon definitely has space heaters. It's chilly.
So
I mean, look at the wind is coming in through the sign.
I think I hear it too.
It's windy. Well, it's getting later in the day. Right now, we're shooting this. It's about, what, 4 in the afternoon?
Yeah.
Yeah, 4:20.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little chilly.
Not that bad though. It's only going to get warmer. It's going to get very hot also, so we're going to need a fan sponsorship too.
That might be the same company.
It could be.
You think companies that make space heaters also make portable air conditioners? Probably.
I got a very nice new bedroom fan. Now let's look up the brand on that.
Well, I'll say this about our apartments. They get very warm. I don't know about yours, but ours are very like...
Lately, it's been actually pretty chilly.
You have the windows open?
I came home one day and I was freezing, so I literally like ripped the air conditioning out of the window.
Interesting. Well, now you're just going to have to put it back up again, right, in a couple months?
Yeah, it's going to get warm.
Mm-hmm.
But the bedroom, I got a brand new fan, and the brand is... I don't have it yet. Honeywell.
I think that's a pretty well-known brand.
Sounds like it.
I've heard of that. Is it good?
It's great.
Yeah.
It's good for the bedroom because it actually has like sleep settings because it's really quiet.
Mm.
It's a great fan. Lauren makes fun of me when I call it a great fan.
It is a great fan.
It's our only fans.
Only fans.
Honeywell does
what do we
have other fans.
But do they make space heaters?
Let's look.
Type in Honeywell space heater.
Looks like they make other sorts of appliances. They have like a what do you call it? A dehumidifier.
Let me tell you something. If you're a fan of the Garage Party podcast and you didn't miss this, I don't know what's wrong with you. Because this is must listen.
Honeywell
and
does
must
make
watch.
space heaters.
By the way, we're back. Not only in the garage, but we're back on Spotify. We're back on YouTube.
SoundCloud.
We're back on SoundCloud.
Google Podcasts.
We're back on Google Podcasts. We're back on iTunes.
Which, if you're listening to this, none of what we said matters because you already found us.
Correct, unless they would like to switch over and listen to us somewhere else. But does anybody do that ever?
No. Like, what do you use to listen to podcasts?
Spotify.
I use Apple.
But there are certain podcasts that aren't on Spotify. That
Like Rogan, I have to listen to on Spotify, which I don't really like Spotify.
Spotify exclusive.
Sorry, Spotify.
Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
Whatever's left of him on Spotify.
They took down a couple episodes.
I heard they took down like 100.
Yeah.
That's just a bad job.
Yeah.
But what's really
Well, I
bad,
think he did it himself, though. I don't think they did it.
not at first. They took down a couple episodes before this whole
When he first
thing
joined
started.
with them, I think they took some down with people who were like had allegations and stuff like that.
Milo Yiannopoulos, I think, was one of the first ones that they took down of his.
Which he's just crazy and
He's a lunatic.
Yeah.
Yeah. But one of his buddies they took down too. Is Coco? Joey Coco Diaz? They take him down? I
Yeah,
think because
yeah.
he had like an allegation against him for some kind of sexual misconduct, right? He was like,
I don't think he even had like an allegation. I think he was just saying things that he used to do that were very inappropriate. But he's very openly a known former felon. So like, what do you expect from him?
right. But my whole thing with this is Rogan is basically the guy who will literally speak to everyone in a world where you just don't see that anymore.
Yeah, but like it's also like, what do you really expect from him? He's a comedian and cage fighter and analyst.
Yeah. But I don't think that even has to do with anything. Like, no matter what his occupation is, like, he's a great interviewer. I think that he just, and I mean, you see some of his interviews, they go 4 or 5 hours long.
It's just that he interviews people that people don't agree with.
Right.
And gives them a platform.
But in today's day and age, if I go and I sit on my couch and
Like
I put
Alex
on,
Jones is a good example.
that's a good one, right? But he's just like, listen, he's a conspiracy theorist. We know what he is. And going in, you probably know what he is because you're listening to him speak. But Rogan is the guy who will give him the opportunity to defend his point of view. Nobody does that.
No.
If I sit on the couch and I put on CNN, Fox News, anything, it's an echo chamber. They're all the exact same. They're all saying the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan is basically, he will.
And then like Neil Young. I had to Google who Neil Young was. Did you?
Well, if you're like an older fan of ours, you know who Neil Young is. I know who he is, but I don't like his music. So him pulling himself off Spotify really meant nothing to me.
That was the same day that I learned he was on Spotify.
So to you, it meant even less. Yeah. And the thing about Neil Young is like back when he was big, and I'm using quotation marks for the people on Spotify, and he was pretty big musical artist, but back when he was big, one of his main like songs and themes was like living in the free world, right? Like we're living in the United States of America where you can basically say anything you want.
Yeah.
And now 25 years later,
when I searched Neil Young on Apple Music, that was literally the first song that came up.
Yeah.
And I thought that was ironic.
yeah, because now apparently you can't.
Living in his free world, as long as you
Right.
don't say things that upset me.
that he disagrees with, right? So he pulled all of his music off Spotify, which
But it's also
I'm going to
like
assume
people
Spotify was
saying
not
that-
devastated about.
People saying that he's spreading misinformation. That's what the internet is. If you're going to censor someone for misinformation,
If you are on the internet, you have been exposed to misinformation 1,000 times a day. If you go on Facebook, you go on Twitter, you go on Instagram, I don't even care if it's somebody that you know, it's misinformation. Somebody has misled you in some way, shape, or form on social media every
like,
day of the
that's-
week.
Once you start doing that, that's a really bold thing to do because then you're saying that everything said on a podcast has to be 100% accurate.
Right. But it also says that there are a certain group of people out there that can control what the rest of us hear. Right? So, like, people are making the decision of what I can listen to and what I can't listen to by saying that the people Joe Rogan interviews are not warranted to be listened to.
Yeah.
And who are they to make that decision?
We're talking dangerous territory for our first time back. We may get canceled right now.
This is a good way to come back, though, right? You got to, like, make a splash. It disappoints me a little that Joe Rogan was, like, a little, I'm going to pull some of these things back.
Well, I think he pulled the ones where he dropped N-bombs.
He didn't do that in 100 episodes. There's no way.
No. I think it was probably from like a few episodes, but I think those are the ones that he pulled himself.
Well, then, I mean, it upset me before this whole where he would drop the N-word a couple times. It bothered me even before that when he was almost like allowing Spotify to control his content. He was all right with it. I don't know if it's because in his contract.
Sound a little bit because I feel like we.
Yeah, echoing a little bit.
I can edit this part out.
What do you think? It sounds like an echo?
I don't know if it's this or if I just
Test it.
Hey. Oh, it sounds way better.
Better?
Yep.
All right.
If you want to
What's
hit the back button so you don't have to see that anymore. On the top left.
Cool.
We're still going. I'll cut that out.
What's the best way to edit this back in? Should we do another clap?
No.
No, just keep going.
Yeah, it should be fine. I'm going to cut the same amount from both parts.
Cool.
So everything's synced up already.
I'll just pick it up where we were.
Yeah, because I didn't stop anything, so it's still the same recording.
Cool. I think what bothered me the most about Joe Rogan was when he was almost like, I don't want to say complacent, but he was almost like laid back and allowing of the fact that Spotify was going to control some of his content. Like I might have been in his contract where Spotify has the rights and that's it. They can do what they want with it. But
that may be part of it, but then like where are you going to go? Because that was a big issue when he was at YouTube. They were constantly demonetizing him and censoring.
But YouTube never really...
Google's one of the biggest, censorship.
Right. But all of his episodes were on YouTube, weren't they? Before going to Spotify?
Previously, yeah.
So they never took anything down.
They may have blocked parts of them, or just like ours got banned from Denmark. I can imagine that his laundry list of places he was banned are even longer.
Yeah. But even so, he might have gotten banned in Denmark, but he still cashed in on that $100 million offer from Spotify.
100%.
So.
But also, he's back on the UFC tonight.
He is. Big card tonight. I don't know how much we should talk about it because the people are listening. That card's way long gone.
If you're listening, it already happened, and you saw Jorge Masvidal bite Colby Covington's ear off.
Go to YouTube and check that one out.
That's my prediction.
That's your prediction?
Yep.
You're not even really sure if they dislike each other.
It's a rumor going around that it's a fake beef that they've been building up for the last couple of years just to
have this fight.
Yeah.
Do you think that would be?
And then I feel like the UFC even knows about it because like if you saw at the weigh-in, they had like a huge like security team lined up to keep these guys away from one another.
Well, would they have had that if it was a fake beef?
I feel like they wouldn't have had it if it was a real beef.
Because they wouldn't have known.
Because there's been how many real beefs, and I've never seen that before, like John Jones and Daniel Cormier, Conor and Aldo.
I mean, there's no question that if it's a fake beef...
Conor Khabib.
They really did.
Conor literally threw a hand truck at a bus, and there wasn't a security team stopping him from getting to Khabib.
He also wasn't supposed to be there, though.
No, but I'm saying after that is when they actually fought.
Yeah, right.
And there wasn't armed guards.
Yeah, no, you're right. But there's no question that the fake beef, whether it's fake or not, definitely makes it better.
Yeah.
Right? I feel like I am much more into it than if they were like best friends going at it.
The main event is strong, but I feel like the card around it isn't super strong. Like we got Kevin Holland, we got Big Mouth fighting.
Yeah. Greg Hardy, I believe, is on the card, isn't he?
Is Greg Hardy on the card?
I believe so.
Undercard, or?
I think so.
It's on the pay-per-view. Because if he's on the pay-per-view, then it's even weaker.
I think he's on the pay-per-view.
So who's the co-main? Oh, Dos Anjos, who was his opponent that backed out? Was it Islam on short turnaround?
Might have been.
No, it wasn't. I think they asked Islam to pull in. That's what it was.
Yeah. Well, Islam just had that nice win the other day against...
Greg Hardy is on the pay-per-view.
Told
And
you.
you got Edson Barbosa, Bryce Mitchell.
Greg Hardy's a weak UFC fighter, isn't he?
Weak as in...
Lost a lot in a row. Or lost a lot of his last couple fights.
He's 7-4, I think.
Is he? In the UFC?
Yeah.
Has he already had 11 fights?
I think his debut was on the Contender Series, so I don't know if you count that as like in the UFC.
Right. But like on his current contract, he's had
Let's look it up.
a couple fights, I would say. I mean, maybe they dulled this card down because they knew they had such a good pay-per-view. They were going to get it anyway with Masvidal and Covington. You know, you're going to get the eyeballs no matter what.
I think it'll sell.
No, it'll absolutely sell. I mean, I'll be watching it. You'll be watching it.
They started off the year strong with some of the last few pay-per-views. Like you had the Usman, Covington. You had Volkanovski, Ortega.
Yeah.
So Greg Hardy's last 2 fights were both losses via either TKO or KO by Tai Tuivasa and Marcin Tybura. But
should we do a shoey?
I would love to do a shoey.
You would do a shoey? Does it have to be your shoe?
Oh, you don't want it to be my shoe.
No, I mean, do you want it to be your shoe? Would you do a shoey out of your own shoe?
No, I don't think anyone should ever do a shoey out of my shoe.
But you would do a shoe.
Maybe someone else's shoe.
Is it better not knowing whose shoe it is?
Yeah, I think so.
You think so?
Yeah.
See, for me, that might be worse. Like, listen, if I know my shoes are foul, and obviously you know the same.
Like, these things are fucking. These are my work shoes. Look at them.
They're
falling
foul.
apart.
Right. Like, you drinking something out of that would be disgusting.
Also, it's mesh. It's fail.
But is it worse or better drinking something out of a shoe of which you have no idea what the foot looks like?
Probably better.
And for those of you who don't know, a shoey is basically shotgunning a beer out of a shoe. It's literally that. It's what Billy mentioned, Tai Tuivasa. That's what he's been known for after he wins a fight. He jumps on the top of the cage. Somebody throws him a shoe. He dumps a beer inside the shoe and just chugs the entire thing. Very impressive and disgusting at the same time, but pretty
fun.
cool.
Last card, they blocked it, though. They didn't show it.
Yeah, well, they missed it. I don't think they blocked it. I think that they missed it. I thought it was a bad job by the director in the truck. Because that's Tai Tuivasa's thing.
No,
that's his.
You know it's coming, so I don't think you miss it unless you just don't have a.
They definitely didn't block it because they had it in his promo.
I feel like, how do you miss it? How do you possibly miss it?
I don't know. It wasn't there. He did it.
Out of all the cameras you have.
Maybe he just didn't do it, but he did it again as he walked off. There was I don't know if it was a group of fans or a group of people that he knew, but as he was walking back to the backstage area after he won the fight, he went over to a group of fans, again, or people he knows, and did it out of the shoe. Yeah. But I don't know if he did it as well in the ring, in which case they missed the one in the ring.
I think he did do. I think he got up on the cage. Someone threw him a beer and a shoe. Which, that's like vintage, like Stone Cold Steve Austin type stuff. It's a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun. But now, if you're the guy who throws him the shoe, you get the shoe back?
Yeah.
Or are you going home with one shoe?
No, you got to get your shoe back, and I don't know if you just frame it. You frame a shoe.
You wear it home?
Can you frame a shoe? Shadow box?
Of course you can. You can frame anything.
Black?
You can literally frame anything you want.
I think you got to keep your shoe, because then, like, you're walking around with just one shoe.
It's because you only got one shoe on.
It's because you only got one shoe on.
But
I don't know what you do the rest of that night, but it's a fun story to tell.
Did Tai Tuivasa shotgun the beer out of your shoe?
Yeah.
I agree. Should we do shoey?
But also, is it getting devalued the more he does it?
I want to do a shoey.
I hear sirens. Is it getting devalued more?
The more he does it?
Yeah.
No, because every time
is
he does
like
it,
Derek
means
Jeter signing 1,000 baseballs?
No, it's different. It's different. Way different.
Memorabilia-wise?
Way different. Derek Jeter signing a ball is not literally drinking a beer out of something so foul and disgusting that has been around somebody else's foot. It's not the same at all.
I'm saying value-wise.
Just because Derek stands
from a
there with a
memorabilia
pen.
standpoint. Does, like, every time he does it, lower the memorabilia that other people have from their shoes?
Well, the thing is, I'm not sure if there's a way to, like a Derek Jeter ball, right? You can almost, in 50 years, sell that and get something for it, right? I'm not sure if there's a way to validate whether or not the shoe that you have is the actual shoe that Ty drank out of. Like, how would you go about doing that?
A video clip? An NFT?
There's a million shoes. Like, that shoe that you're wearing right now has probably been made 2 million times. Who's to say that that's the shoe that he drank out of?
Yeah, I guess you'd have to have it validated that night. Or,
I mean, why can't you just dump that?
Leave that beer scent in it.
Again, you could just dump a beer in that shoe right now.
even then, like, how do you preserve it? It's going to get moldy.
Yeah. I don't think you can. And I think it really only matters if Tai Tuivasa goes on to become, like, one of the greatest UFC fighters of all time.
No. I think, like, he's already had a good career.
Let's just say his career ended tomorrow, right? He
it's a good
rips
career.
his leg off, and his career is over tomorrow.
He's not a Hall of Famer, though.
What do you think the shoe that he did a shoey out of 25 years ago is going to be worth right in 25 years? Nothing.
Probably less than it was the day it was purchased.
Nothing. Yeah, because now it stinks like beer.
It's moldy.
It's moldy. So it's not a matter of, like, you know, the value increasing or decreasing. He has to go on to have an unbelievable career, or else it's useless.
Which now he's ranked top 5, I think.
But I've always wondered myself, like, what do you do if you're the person whose shoe gets chosen? And B, how is he just not, like, at the point now in his career where every time he wins a fight, there's just a million shoes littering the ring?
When he knocked out Greg Hardy, it was the kid from the Nelk Boys, Steve Will Do It's shoe. And it was a shoe that Dana White gifted him. So that shoe is probably worth a lot.
Dana White gave the shoe to the guy, and then the guy in turn gave it to Tai Tuivasa to drink out of?
He gifted Steve Will Do It a, like, premium pair of Nikes that were, like, maybe only a few made. And then...
And he just chucked it in the ring.
Yeah, so the kid also has his own drink company, I think called Happy Dad or something like that. And he threw him both the Happy Dad and
the shoe.
The gifted Dana White sneaker.
And he drank the Happy Dad out of the shoe.
Yes. Great video.
Is Happy Dad an alcoholic beverage?
Yeah, it's like I think it's like a spiked seltzer.
Okay.
It's from the Nelk Boys. I don't know if you're familiar with them.
I think, and this is just, I'm just spitballing here. I think that in one of our promos, we should do a shoey.
I'm down.
I've always, every time I see him do it, I'm like, that's disgusting, but I kind of want to do it. And I'm not really sure how many times in my life that's ever really happened to me. Like, I watch Fear Factor, and I'm like, wow, it's cool that guy can eat that rat blended up with soy milk.
Yeah,
but I wouldn't do it.
It's a hard seltzer.
Okay.
Which I don't really like those things.
I would just do it. I would do it with a beer.
Yeah. Should we do it with like a Foster, like an Australian beer?
Really make it authentic.
Yeah.
And then send it to Ty and be like, I'm sure he gets a zillion videos a day of people doing shoeys.
Yeah. We could send it anyway, but
We'll send it. Hope for the best. When's his next fight? Maybe before his next fight we'll do it.
probably not booked yet. He just fought.
Yeah.
He's, fought Derek Lewis and knocked out Derek Lewis.
Maybe he'll fight in like July or August. Perfect shoey weather.
Any weather's good shoey weather for him.
But I think the catch is we have to do it out of our own shoe.
He got Dana White to do it at one of the press conferences.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
There's just a lot about it that I question. Especially if you're a fan in the stands and he picks your shoe. Are you just going home with one shoe? Because Tai Tuivasa is never the main
any
event.
other
of the
outcome. So yes, my answer for that is yes.
Like, Tai Tuivasa is never the main event of the night, right? Maybe he's done it twice as a co-main, but I don't think he's ever been a main event fighter. So that means that if you're the one whose shoe gets picked, not only, it's not like you're going home right after the fight. Like, you got to stick around for another hour and a half, 2 hours, depending on where he is in the card, with one shoe.
I don't see any other outcome. It's not like they planned for it to happen. Like, you don't plan to throw your sneaker. I think that's just like a spur of the moment thing, and they do it, and then you have to live with your choices.
You live with your choices. Unless you get the shoe back. Which I'm not sure you do. Because I'm pretty sure that after he does the shoe, he chucks it into the crowd also.
You might get your shoe back. Even if you get your shoe back, I imagine you're either going to walk around barefoot, because you're not going to walk around with just one shoe. It's hard to do. I think it's easier to walk on ice skates than it is to walk on one shoe.
Disagree, but
So you walk around barefoot or in just socks, or you walk around with one wet shoe. Or you have him double back and do another shoey out of your other shoe, and you just have two wet shoes, which is doable. Gross, but doable.
is it worse that it's beer?
Probably,
Yeah.
because
I
it
think
starts
so.
to smell.
After probably like 15
The hard
minutes.
seltzer was probably the way to go. Not for chugging, because that's probably very difficult to chug.
He did it, though.
Yeah, that's kind of hard and disgusting.
He's good. He's impressive.
Yeah, he can chug.
He could chug. He could do a good shoey. I don't know. Bottom line of the story, I would like to do a shoey with you. Whether it's a promo for the show Whether it's just a Saturday night and we're having a good time and we decide to rip off a shoe and do a shoey. I don't care. I would like to do it.
Maybe we bet like a crazy parlay that has Tai Tuivasa included, and if it hits,
We shoey.
we do a shoey.
All right. I'm in. So when's the MLB lockout ending?
August?
Is that your guess?
Yeah.
All right. I'm not going to allow you to say August. I'll give you a number of games that they're going to play this year, and you tell me over or under. Okay?
Okay.
110.
Under.
Under. That was quick. You didn't even think about that. You were just like, well, I guess you had August ready to roll, so that's definitely under. By the way, I don't think the season would start in August. I think if it goes past like mid-June, they just
can't.
cancel the whole thing. Yeah. Yeah, because you can't play like a 20-game season.
Yeah, because then
Just-
because it's not like with baseball, you can't play into December. Like
No.
NBA, they were able to do the whole bubble thing and extend it into the summer because it's an indoor sport.
Right, right.
Baseball,
Not so
you know,
much.
the weather gets cold. Even in October, it's very cold.
Sure. So 110 under is your pick.
Yeah, I could see it being a half season, 80 games.
Well, 110 is basically you would lose April and May because you're losing about 50 games.
Yeah, like I mean, we're probably days away from losing all of April.
I would say so. I don't think that they're going to cancel it at once, which in a way is actually almost worse, I think, for the league to have these press conferences every week saying we're canceling another 6 games. Like, I think their best bet, if they cancel more, God willing they don't, they're meeting tomorrow, March 6th. Hopefully something good comes from that. I'm not optimistic. But I think that their best move is if tomorrow doesn't go well, cancel all of April. Because you can't just keep having press conferences every 3 days saying we've canceled 6 more games.
Mm-hmm.
You cancel the whole month, and then we'll see you again in 3 weeks and see where we're at. Hopefully it ends before that, but who knows?
See, like I think it just doesn't make sense. Like, how can you meet every day and still not get a deal done? And like, how do these meetings even take longer than an hour? I don't
Well,
even
most of them
know-
don't even last 15, 20 minutes.
What even goes into a negotiation?
I mean, we can get into like the hard line stuff of what they're fighting over, but I mean, that's just boring city.
But like, all right, let's negotiate a price. All right, let's say we're gonna negotiate the price of chicken wings.
Yeah, but it's a little bit different because there's 100.
I wanna sell them for $10.
There's 1,200. If I'm the
You
players,
want to buy them for $20?
if I'm the players,
Let's meet in the middle.
There's 1,200 of me, and there's 30 of you. It's not easy because I got 1,200 people
that's why
telling
they
me we're not
that's-
going past a certain number.
That's why they send representatives.
Right, but like they vote on it. The 1,200 people vote on it. Like the representatives just
so you come up
communicate
with
the
a
offer.
number, and then you go in.
So what is your number for the wings?
I'm gonna sell them for $10. You want to buy them for $5?
Right.
Let's meet in the middle.
Now I got 1,200 people telling me we are not going higher than 5.
Then you don't
We
get
will
fucking
not
wings.
And that's where
Cancel
we're
the
at.
season.
That's where we're at. Exactly. That's exactly right. And that's why we're at a lockout.
No chicken for anybody.
That's exactly right. Now what happens with those wings over the course of time?
They get moldy.
Correct. Losing the value of them, which is why I will wait you out until those wings are only worth
I don't think
$5.
value will go down though of Major League Baseball. Or if
Not the
team-
value. I mean, wings is just like an example, but like not the. But like the longer that we wait and they're not getting paid, people start to get antsy, right?
Well, the owners can go way longer than the players can.
Especially when you're used to a certain lifestyle, and I'm talking about the top 1% of major league players. Guys who are making 20 million, 30 million a year. You're used to that lifestyle. All of a sudden, the checks stop coming in. Sure, you may be able to be all right with it for a month, but when you got to cut back on the clubs and the bars and the parties, 2-3 months in, might start getting a little bit frustrated. All of a sudden, you call up your representative and say, "What the hell's going on here? Where's my paycheck?" And that's what they're hoping.
Well-
That's what the owners are hoping happens.
Thing about paychecks is you usually got to work for them.
Correct. But the owners are willing to say, you know what? You don't want to come to our number? You won't get paid. What happens when people get paid? Don't get paid? They get angry.
What day? Today's March 5th. What day are we on?
93. Yes.
93.
94, actually. I'm sorry.
94.
94. Started in December.
You think it'll end before 100?
I mean, it basically means it ends tomorrow. Tomorrow's day 95.
If they meet tomorrow.
If they meet tomorrow and it doesn't go well, they won't meet again for another week. What are they going to do?
What if they make
They're not gonna keep-
minimal progress?
Minimal progress? There's really only one
That's been
issue
the main
left.
quote that I've heard is
Minimal progress, right.
That's their
Well, there's only one issue really left for them to discuss. They've pretty much hammered out everything else. Everything else is pretty much set.
the luxury tax.
The luxury tax. That's the big nut. Although now that there's a lockout, like 3 other issues have gotten thrown into the pot. Because now the players are going to want to get paid for the games they're losing.
Which they shouldn't. I should just go in there.
But I'm not going to
That's
agree to
all
your
right.
number unless you pay me for what I lost.
But you didn't play.
Doesn't matter.
You didn't do
You're
your
the
job.
one who did the lockout. You're the one who installed the lockout, not me. We didn't come to a deal. You're the one who said the league is locked out. Now the league isn't locked out. I want to get paid for the games
But
that I
the
missed.
players
I was
are
willing
also-
to pay them. I was willing to play those games. You didn't want them played. I was there. I was ready.
Were they though?
And this is why there'll be no baseball this year.
It's like
There's too
I
many
just
issues.
I don't get
many
what
big
goes on in
issues.
these meetings. They met for a total of like 100 hours.
Literally. I don't even think that's an exaggeration. It was like 100 hours over like a 5-day span.
And nothing.
Nothing.
I don't.
It's crazy.
I don't really get it.
It's crazy.
But I guess we'll keep you posted.
What always boggles my mind is that they're literally fighting over money. Meanwhile, as the lockout goes longer, nobody's getting paid. So it's like, you're fighting over dollars and cents, and none of you are getting paid currently.
I don't know. We'll see if we get 110 games in.
110, I think, is the over-under that I saw online. I tend to agree with you. I think under. Just because I think that they're entrenched in their positions and there's too much left for them to still figure out.
Because like you think even if it goes past May, they're just gonna cancel the season.
They can probably get away with an 80-game season, which is half, but any lower than that, no.
Because they did the 60-game season 2 years ago already, and that was like
It's ridiculous. Ridiculous.
yeah.
And, I mean, a 60-game season with now a 14-team playoff?
It's like yeah.
Ridiculous.
Extending the playoffs and
No.
shortening the
Ridiculous.
season.
I think once it dips below 80, they'll just cancel the whole thing. In which case, they won't meet for 5 months. They'll meet again in November. Because what's the rush then? Season's off.
It'll be winter meetings.
Right. But then you're going to lose the off season for 2023. It's a mess. It's a giant mess. Let's just hope they meet tomorrow, and somehow, by the grace of God, it goes well. I'm actually debating going to church tomorrow.
All right, that's a whole other story.
No, to try everything.
Who are you gonna pray to?
A higher power, Billy. Somebody to end the thing. End it.
What
Somebody.
I was curious is, what are you gonna watch?
Oof. Well, here's the thing. You can get you'll be fine until about mid-May.
Because right now we do have NBA.
We got everything right now. Right now we're right on the precipice
Okay.
of one of the best months ever.
He has NHL. I don't watch hockey. So
No, I'm talking about like college basketball. We got March Madness
March
coming.
Madness coming
We got the
next-
NBA playoffs. If you're an NHL guy like myself,
next Monday, March Madness.
yeah. Next next
Thurs-
Sunday is
Thursday?
Selection Sunday.
Yeah.
So you got March Madness on the cusp. You got the NBA playoffs. You got the NHL playoffs if that's what you're into. You got soccer if you're into it.
March Madness goes by like
Blink of an eye.
very
And usually March Madness
carries you into baseball.
right in opening day. But here's where you're going to feel it. When the NBA finals are over, when the Stanley Cup finals are over, and it's like June 1st,
When's hockey ends? Is that June?
same time as basketball. They're on the same schedule. So it's like June 1st, that's it. There's nothing on. Nothing.
College baseball.
I think it's over then. It started like a month ago, and they have a much shorter season.
Oh yeah, it's like a 2-month season.
Mm-hmm. June
Omaha.
1st. June, July, August, nothing.
Yeah. See.
Then September, you got football back.
We'll have some UFC. We'll have some PFL. We'll have
So once a week.
not even.
Not even. Right. That's when you're going to feel it. So we hope that it's resolved before then. Just
We'll
give us
have
something.
NFL for a few months.
I mean, you'll have, in April, you're going to have.
You'll have some Garage Party podcasts. Hopefully, we keep it up.
Sure. We'll be here. City Field will be empty, but we'll be here.
We'll be in here sweating.
That's right.
Maybe we bring this setup to the door of City Field. Who's gonna stop us? No one's
Probably a decent amount of people.
there. You think anyone's there? What are they guarding?
I think they're there. I think that they're there.
Do you think
They're-
people work in stadium? Like,
Do I think? No, I don't think like concession workers are in there. No.
what do they do in the stadium during the off season.
During the off season?
Yeah.
Who are we talking about? What department?
Anyone.
Are we talking about the baseball people?
Like, does anyone have to go and show up to work at Citi Field?
Well, I mean, now with COVID, we've kind of established that really nobody has to show up to work, right? Like, they could just do it remotely.
Like, is there
Billy Epler?
What has to go on?
I mean, Billy Epler, the new GM, he had Max Scherzer, Starling Marte, Mark Canha, and Eduardo Escobar signed before he even came to New York, right? Like, he was the GM. He hadn't even come here yet, and all those guys were signed. So, you don't have to be in the office.
Well, there was probably press conferences at the stadium, right?
They were remote. Scherzer's press conference was remote. Scherzer has still not been to Citi Field.
So, if we go there right now, how many people are there?
On a Saturday, nobody. During a
Zero.
lockout?
I think 0, 0, 0.
Well, right now, I think the majority of them are in Port St. Lucie.
Like, you think there's even security?
Yes. I think there's always security. Some lunatic just hops the fence. You can't have that.
So then there's got to be people there, no?
I think they're there to protect the field, protect the stadium. You can't just have some homeless dude hopping the fence and living in left field.
So how many people, is what I'm asking, are at Citi Field right now? Like, if there's security, there's got to be, like,
10?
management, too.
10 security people? I don't know. I would assume a lot of ticket people are there Monday through Friday.
For what?
Well, now they're, like, busier than ever. Like, our guy Scott called me last week. They got to figure all this shit out. How they're giving
You
people
think
their
they
money
work,
back.
like, in the stadium?
Yes, I know they do.
So they don't have, like, remote offices in Manhattan somewhere?
No. They work like the ticket people and the baseball people work at Citi Field. Yes.
Huh.
You know, like the bullpen gate. You know that big overhang with like it looks like offices.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right.
That's where they work. There's no like Mets
then
office on Park
Then
Avenue.
you think, like,
no.
there's, like, janitors and stuff that got to go there every day.
Sure. I mean, probably a grounds crew, right? Change like put the tarp on if it rains. Because technically baseball could start at any time. So like you have to make sure that the field is in working condition. I mean, there's going to be a month-long spring training, so you're going to have that month. But you have to make sure that it's like at least.
I imagine the grass has to be kept up with all year.
I'm assuming that the grass is probably on the same schedule as it is if the season were being played, would be my guess. Just because there could literally be games there in a month. Realistically. If they come to an agreement tomorrow, Citi Field will have a game there in 1 month. 1 month from tomorrow. So you can't just let it go to shit. You got to like make sure that it's in tip-top shape.
Very little spring training.
Yeah. Realistically, they could probably get away with a 3-week spring training, but they don't want to do that.
You think there'll even be any exhibition games?
There has to be.
Or it'll just be, like, inter...
No, there has to be at least spring training. That's why they've canceled games through mid-April. 1 month. Has to have at least 1 month of spring. The league says 1 month of spring training. The players say we could do it in 3 weeks. But that's going to shoot injuries through the roof.
Yeah, we'll get more injuries that way.
Mm-hmm. But they'll be out there.
And there'll be people in the stadium.
And they'll be getting paid. Everybody will be getting paid. Something of which they are not getting now.
Except us.
Correct.
Maybe
We're paying them.
We'll get a couple credits, refunds.
We've already gotten a couple bucks back. 4 of the 6 games that were canceled, we had tickets to. So we've already gotten a couple bucks back.
Yes, I think only 2 of those were impacted.
Well, opening day they don't consider impacted because whenever the next opening day is,
We
I
have
guess
tickets to it.
we will have tickets to it. Right.
Which may be a game that we have tickets to already.
In which case we get a credit for that game. Make sense? This is why they're there. This is why they're at Citi Field. They're figuring this shit out.
I guess someone has to do it.
You know, they're there. I would assume the baseball people are in Florida though.
But I wanted to get back to the Covington Masvidal thing. I wanted your prediction on it. I think Masvidal's going to bite his ear off. That's my real prediction.
Covington by submission.
Covington by submission.
Mm-hmm.
What are the odds on that? I think it's really long. I don't think that'll ever happen.
You don't think so?
No.
You think that the odds are higher on that than
he would
him biting
TKO
his
him.
ear off?
Yeah. Because, like, if they really hate each other, he's not going to try and take his neck.
I think that the longer the fight goes on,
Plus 800.
for a Covington submission.
Yeah.
What about a Covington KO? +4?
Plus 350.
350. Okay.
Even longer for a Masvidal KO.
350. Lay it. Because Covington money line is no good. It's like -350 or something like that.
Yeah. 320 at the moment.
320. So heavy favorite for Colby, which is odd to me because I like Masvidal, and I think that it's a pretty even matchup. And Masvidal can really just hang with anybody.
Yeah, I think the longer it goes, the more it favors Kobe. So if Jorge doesn't get a knockout in the first 2 rounds, like I think we've never seen, other than Usman, someone go cardio for cardio with Covington.
What is your bet of the night? The lock. Give me the lock.
I would really like a
Take your time. Make sure it's good.
Like a big mouth KO. Ooh, nicely done. Yeah, I think Kevin Holland KO is my. It's plus 120, so it's not even that long.
I might go Oliveira submish as my lock. That's not a joke.
And
I'm
that's
not
at
gonna
plus
hit the drum.
1400.
You said he's a grappler.
He is a grappler.
Holland doesn't like grapplers. Holland wants to step in the middle of the ring with you and throw down.
But also, now that he's at welterweight, I think we'll see a difference of people that are actually closer to his size because he wasn't even cutting weight at middleweight.
Right, but I just think Oliveira is going to go for the takedown every single time. Like, why would you ever throw hands with Kevin Holland if you don't have to?
You could also, if you do that, you may just take a knee right to the dome.
Sure.
Or Kevin Holland could turn around and submit you. He is a purple belt in jiu-jitsu. Let's look.
He doesn't like that though. It's not his game.
Plus 400.
It's not his game.
Plus 400.
Plus 400 for that, but 1,200 for an Oliveira who's an actual grappler.
Shorter odds.
See, now that's. I don't get that. That baffles me. Baffles me.
Let's look at the cold hard facts here.
New soundboard. Still trying to get used to all the.
Give it a little go. Actually, do you even have it?
Have they not even been hearing those?
They may not have heard it.
Okay.
Hit it.
You know what they're cheering, Billy?
Baseball's back.
Incorrect.
Garage Party Podcast is back.
That's right. That's right. That's why they're cheering. Not baseball.
I hope so.
We could use that for baseball in about 9 months.
Do sound H. Baseball.
That's the baseball sound. That's the sound for baseball.
You know, it's almost like bookends with the last time we started a podcast, there was no baseball.
For a different reason, but yes.
Because of COVID.
Then there was, and we did the live stream of it. Opening day,
Yes.
which they won.
Uh-huh. And then we lost baseball again, technically right now. And we're
Yeah.
back. Sitting in the seats, on the mics.
Maybe it's us. Are we the issue?
No, like I'm saying, maybe this is what's going to bring it back.
Us coming back? You might be right. But then, should we live stream the first game
Probably.
that is back?
We'll be there.
Maybe, unless it's a road game.
Yes.
If it's a road game, we can live stream it.
Yes.
I'd be in for it. Obviously not if it's a home game, we'll be there. Unless it's a home game on a Saturday or Sunday. In which case we won't be there. Actually, no, we'll be there. We have opening day tickets.
Yes.
Regardless. So,
Yes.
yeah. So if it's a road game, which I think the next group
The
of...
home opener, though, we will be at.
We will.
But the
Regardless of the day.
game 1 of the season, not necessarily.
Correct. In fact, I think the next group of games to get canceled will be like a 7 or 8 game road trip. So we might not get any credits for the next group of games that get canned. Unless they cancel the entire month of April.
But we won't get credit.
But I don't
We're
see them
also
doing
not
that.
losing tickets.
We're not losing tickets, correct. We're just losing
But
the ability to watch games and
I think
enjoy
this
them.
I think this is what's going to bring it back.
Listen, I have been following this nonstop. That's right. It's a joke. I have been following this nonstop since December. You know it. I send a message in the group every day.
Yeah.
Every day.
Our Snapchat group is named whatever day of the lockout we are on.
Correct. Which is now 94. Tomorrow will be 95. And if tomorrow doesn't go well, this could go on for a long ass time. I might have to. And I tell you what, I didn't anticipate being like
having to
do this
every
long.
day.
Yeah, I thought that it would be over by now. To be honest,
It was funny at first, and now it's a chore.
now it's a chore, right? I like every day. I'm like, oh shit, and it's not like it'll be like in the back of my mind.
You skipped a few days too. It was wrong.
I skipped one day. I skipped actually yesterday,
Yeah,
so I updated it today. 94.
94 is the not so magic number.
Not so magic number. Not so magic. So it's just been like an emotional drain for me as well as them. I have followed this nonstop. I refresh Twitter, Billy, when they meet on date. And tomorrow I'll do the same thing because you know why? Let's say it together because I'm a schmuck. That's why.
How many?
When they meet
screenshots-
tomorrow,
how
I
many
will
screenshots of baseball journalists.
countless.
Have you taken?
Passon, Drellick, Rogers, Nightingale, Heyman, Olney, you name them, I got them. I have screenshotted every one of them multiple times for the last months.
And sent them all to me.
Sent them all to the group, and still no baseball.
H.
Still no baseball. But hopefully it ends. Garage Party Podcast is back, so maybe that means baseball.
This is the juju it needed.
Maybe this was the energy it needed. Maybe tomorrow's the day, but most likely not, would be my guess. If I had to put a number on it, I would say 7% that tomorrow even goes well.
7% is generous.
Considering where they've been, yeah. Yeah, it is generous. No optimism whatsoever. I'm with you. Under 110. It's very depressing. Baseball to me, in the summertime, I watch baseball nonstop.
Yeah, I don't know what I'll watch instead of baseball. Maybe I'll find something new and interesting.
We need to
watch,
find like a
some
new
sort of,
a new sport, or do we completely turn off, like go in a different direction?
I don't know. Maybe I'll read some books.
Maybe. You do enjoy, I enjoy reading,
I enjoy reading.
but I'm more of a read during the commute guy. When I get home, I want to watch baseball. I don't want to,
Sit at home and read.
Yeah. It's also,
Maybe we'll sit out here and we'll barbecue.
but baseball's there every day. Like we can't do that every day.
Yeah.
What can you replace in your life that can fill the void of baseball?
See, like even if it was another sport, it wouldn't be every day.
It's not every day. There's nothing like baseball.
Maybe
every
like,
day.
Soccer.
It's there. I love soccer, but it's not there.
Love soccer.
It's not there at the time
Love
of
soccer.
It's not there at the time of baseball. Different time of year.
Yeah.
Soccer starts in August
There's a Summer Olympics this year, right?
2023.
Is it 2023?
Even so, don't even try to tell me that the Summer Olympics
a
are going to
couple.
replace baseball.
Little League World Series?
Come on. Come on. Come on.
I enjoy
Rhode Island versus Delaware. Come on. Come on.
it. Sounds good to me.
Come on.
Little yeah, see, I don't really even know.
No, there's nothing. Because there's nothing. That's why.
Jeopardy?
That's there every day, but only weekdays.
Soap operas?
Again, weekday.
General Hospital.
Then
I'll get really
You
into
could
it.
watch every episode of General Hospital. You could start today.
It's only 1 hour too.
Yeah, you could start General Hospital today, and if you watched an episode a day, you wouldn't be done for about 3 years. That's how long that show's been on.
I guess we're gonna have to watch General Hospital.
There's about 500 episodes of that show.
We'll live stream it.
Sure. I think Stephen A. Smith is actually in a couple episodes of that.
I think every
I think he's made a few
every
cameo
actors
appearances. Yeah.
had a cameo on General Hospital.
Price is Right. That used to be my stay home from school sick show.
All those game shows, Family Feud and all that.
Let's make a deal.
Guys' grocery games.
I enjoy that. But here's the thing about baseball, right? 7 o'clock at night, 7:10 on a Wednesday night. You don't work, you come home, 7:10 p.m.
Jeopardy.
What are you doing?
Wheel of Fortune.
It's a half hour.
Wheel of Fortune.
Even if you put those two shows together, it takes you 8 o'clock. It's the third inning. What are you doing? Nothing.
Netflix better
Nothing.
get their something together.
There's nothing. Nothing. And we have no idea. Like right now, it's fine. We got the NBA. We got the NFL draft if you're into that. We got soccer.
NFL draft. Who's into the NFL draft?
I enjoy it for a little while. I don't like the combine. I can't watch the combine.
It's first 10 picks and I'm out.
Well, the Jets are in the first 10 picks.
Always.
Usually. Sure. Now they have 2 in the top 10.
Yeah, first 10 picks, I'm out.
Then you're done.
Yeah. But even that's a couple hours. It's like an hour and a half, 2
Right.
hours.
But
first 10 picks.
the coverage that the NFL draft gets can last 2 months.
Yeah.
So maybe more. Because there'll be 2 months of previews for it and then another
even so,
3
it's
months
all
of
a bunch of
analyzing it when
bogus.
nobody knows anything.
It's like it's not even, could be anything.
Right. The point is there's nothing to replace baseball
Yeah.
currently in place.
No, I'm agreeing with
Unless we find something completely off the reservation that we don't even know exists yet. It's the only thing I can think of. If there's something out there that exists that we don't know of yet, I would love to know about it because there's nothing for me right now that at 7:10 p.m. is going to replace baseball.
It doesn't necessarily have to be something on TV. It could just be like we could take up a hobby. Like what would be a hobby? Something you want to learn. You want to learn piano?
Guitar?
Learn guitar? You think you'll definitely have like think about how many hours like a season you watch baseball. If you watch every night,
I'm usually a multiple game a night guy.
so that's
6
4
hours, 7 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I contributed that to guitar,
You're gonna be Hendrix.
I'd be
by-
fucking Hendrix by the
by-
time the season
by
was
September.
over. Yeah. By the time the playoffs roll around, I'll be playing with Bruce and the E Street Band.
So let's call it conservatively 4 hours of baseball you watch a day. That's 28 hours a week.
Even cut that in half for guitar.
Okay.
28 divided by 2.
Okay. So let's say you just watch a Met game every day.
Yeah. But I'm not going to practice the guitar every day. Does anybody do that? I don't even think musicians do that.
If you want, if you're talking a big game, you're talking Hendrix, you're talking,
Who's going to teach me guitar every single day? Usually lessons are like once a week.
YouTube. You don't learn on YouTube. You're gonna be self-taught at guitar every day.
That wasn't a guitar.
No, go to the one above it. A.
There we go. Yeah, no baseball, baby. Maybe the drums, too.
All right, I'll learn the.
Maybe
drums
you do
next
the
year.
drums, I'll do
learn
the
drums
guitar,
next
and
year.
we'll...
Okay, so that's 14 hours a week,
Now we just need a singer.
56 hours a month
It's a lot of time.
for 3 months, 168 months, 168 hours
168 hours for what?
of guitar practice.
For 3 months?
Yeah,
168 hours over the course of 3
sounds
months.
very doable.
Which is actually shorter than baseball. Baseball's about 6 months.
Yeah,
But we'll cut it in half and we'll say 168 hours.
I was thinking just the summer. That's your summer hobby.
Well, so here's the issue, right? So you got to buy a guitar. You got to find somebody who's going to teach you. I don't think YouTube will get it done. I couldn't even figure out how to do a Windsor knot in my tie through YouTube. So I'm certainly not going to learn guitar through YouTube.
Okay.
I need to find somebody who's going to do it. And there's nobody who's going to do it 168 hours over 3 months. Unless I live with them.
You can have a live-in guitar teacher.
Nah. Take that number and slash it. Even if you slash that,
1 hour a week.
even that is probably good. 1 hour a week,
You think you'll
by the
get-
time the baseball season is over, I could probably play you a song.
Did you play an instrument? If you hear
We
me,
are in a garage.
We are in an active garage.
Correct.
Did you ever play an instrument?
This is good. This is legit. Did I ever play an instrument? Never.
You didn't have to learn how to play an instrument in elementary school?
No. No, I didn't.
It was required for us. We had to pick an instrument and play at least 2 years.
You had no choice?
Oh yeah, we had it. We had to do it.
What'd you pick?
Saxophone.
Were you good at it?
No, very bad.
But you passed.
I did the bare minimum, and then I chose to continue to play into middle school.
So you hated it, but you continued it anyway?
I had fun. I went to band practice, and my friends were there. They also had to do it.
So
And
maybe
then,
we...
come 8th grade, my music teacher calls home and asks that I quit. That's how bad I was.
Really? Boy, that's pretty bad, huh? When the teacher asks you to quit. What'd they say? Did they give it to you nicely? Did they at least break it to you listen, you're a great student, but I just feel the sax is not for you.
I don't know what the exact phone call was, but the speech to me was, yeah, Billy, this is not your thing. And, you're taking up an instrument that someone else could have.
Correct. You could be holding up the next Clarence Clemens.
It never got filled.
Nobody else took the sax.
It was the tenor sax, so it was the biggest, heaviest sax there is. No one else wanted to lug that thing around.
Were you upset?
No,
You were like, all right, whatever.
you know,
Was that it? You never picked up a sax again?
no, haven't since.
So maybe that's your instrument.
See, as you see, I'm very musically inclined the way I just put that together.
That's right. Nice. See that? I think by the end of the baseball season, we could be like,
Should I
Legit.
get saxophone?
sure. I think
Pick it back up?
I think I would do guitar.
Yeah.
So what's the cutoff?
I feel I'd probably go piano.
So what's the cutoff? Is it opening day? Because we've already lost that. So when do we start? Like when do we say, all right, there's no baseball. We need to move into the instrument realm.
I feel like
May 1st.
there's got to be at least 30 games canceled
So May 1st.
around then. Yeah, right.
Yeah. April's about 27, but we'll round
I
it.
think that's a little further, right?
Yeah, that's a little less. April's got about 27 games. A couple off days sprinkled in there.
Just thinking about how many hours of time that is, free time that you're getting.
Now, are you in the position, like I guess you would just have to find somebody who can teach you the sax again. But now, if I put a sax in your hands,
I
would
mean,
you remember anything?
I had several. I know the C key because it's just your middle finger.
Okay,
I could be wrong. Oh, and D was all the fingers.
everything.
Push down every button, and that's it.
But there's got to be a way you blow, right?
Oh yeah, I wasn't good at that either.
You weren't good at blowing?
No. And also, like, sometimes, like, you're supposed to have a fresh reed. I used the same broken reed for like a year.
So maybe that's what it was. Maybe you weren't bad. Maybe
I
you
also
just
didn't. I didn't
take
know how
care
to.
of your
I didn't know
equipment.
how to read music, either, which is a problem.
It sounds like you had really bad teaching, to be honest with you. Shouldn't you be taught how to read music before you
Oh
actually
no,
play
I was
it?
definitely taught.
No, you just didn't pay attention. All right, so that's not their fault. That's on you.
I was definitely taught.
No wonder they didn't want you to play the sax anymore.
I mean, yeah, I wasn't musically inclined.
Did you have any like recitals?
Dave Grohl can't read music.
But he is a little better than we are.
The Rock and Roll Hall of
Yeah,
Fame, two
yeah.
bands.
So, did you ever have like a concert that you needed to play in?
Several, yeah.
And were people in the audience like,
This tenor sax guy. I'm sure, like,
they probably just blended in, right?
I'm sure it just sounds bad no matter what.
It's just a bunch of kids playing instruments. It's not going to sound like the Beatles, you know. It's
like,
going
I'm
to be
sitting
like
next to like a kid who's in like NISMA, which is like the New York sound something music.
so he was really
station.
good,
Yeah, like a
and he
really-
played the sax
Yeah,
also.
yeah. Like sometimes I'd just go, just making funny noises and I really didn't know how to play the songs that everyone else was playing. So like the teacher would after we play like a run at a song, the teacher would like go around saying like, because obviously she hears everything, she like kind of points out what
Like, what'd you do
everyone's
wrong?
doing wrong or something they could do better, timing wise or whatever it is. And
Was she basically just like Billy?
she would sometimes just be like, Billy, what note were you playing at this part on this part of the song? And I was like, I didn't even know what
And you
note
just
I
went.
was playing. I'd be like, I was playing a B. She's like, yeah, you're supposed to be playing a C.
Oh, damn! That's what the problem was.
Gotcha. I'll do better.
I'll do better. I like this. Maybe instruments the move.
I think
It could open up a whole new career for us. Maybe no baseball opens up an entire world we didn't
See,
even
like
know
guitar,
existed.
you could practice quietly. I can't practice the saxophone quietly. It's a loud instrument.
No, I would literally hear you from my apartment
Mm-hmm.
trying to practice that shit. Yeah. Guitar, it depends on the guitar.
You know, keyboard.
Do I want to do the electric guitar or
Piano.
just a basically like acoustic? Do I want to play like an acoustic set or do I want to probably start with acoustic, right?
Yeah, it's probably the same to learn, right?
I would assume. Different way of playing though.
And maybe an electric one. You know, you need the amp. And
Right. You can't have that in an
the
apartment.
sounds resonate.
You need a studio. Kind of like this one.
You have one now.
You got one now. Maybe the Garage Party podcast won't even be a podcast studio anymore.
Maybe I'll just
we'll be
knit.
recording music.
I'll learn to knit.
I mean, that you could probably pick up in an afternoon.
We need mittens for in here.
Yeah. Light a little fire. All right. No baseball. Instruments. You got a question for me? I know you had one before. We haven't gotten to it yet, though.
I had it written down. Oh,
Yeah.
I know what it was. What's a question that no matter how many times you've been asked, you can't answer?
Probably that one.
No, for me, like, if someone asked me my favorite movie, I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good one. Movie's a good one.
Someone asked me my favorite song,
I don't know.
I don't know.
What if they broke it up into like genre? Makes it a little bit easier. But if they just said what's your
Sure.
favorite movie, very difficult.
But even
I agree.
throw a genre at me.
Comedy.
My favorite comedy changes all the time.
You could probably give me a top 5.
Yeah.
Even top 5 would be difficult, probably.
Yeah. Definitely leaving some good ones out.
Sure.
Maybe it's Step Brothers. Maybe it's I Love You Man. Maybe it's Meet the Parents. Maybe it's The Other Guys. Maybe
I think movie's a good one. That's a good answer. Question that no matter how many times I'm asked, I
what's your
can't
favorite meal?
answer it. Yeah, favorite food, sure. That one's a little bit easier though, because movies. There's just so many movies, right? I mean, like, I could think of off the top of my head, the first 3 that come to mind are like Shawshank, Green Mile, Saving Private Ryan.
Which I watched Saving Private Ryan last night.
If somebody was going to ask me out of those 3, which one do I like best?
You have
It
to
would
pick
be
one.
very hard to answer.
Someone has a gun to your head. You have to pick one. Obviously, you could say any of them and get the gun away from your head by just lying.
Yeah, sure.
But would it be your favorite?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a good question. Probably Shawshank.
See, but like that's just the
But if I watched Saving Private Ryan today, I would say Saving Private Ryan. It's just a matter of when I watch them.
Jaws.
Jaws is up there, of course.
Can you truly pick a favorite?
No,
Yeah.
no, you can't. Can't really pick a favorite food either.
Yeah, I can't either. Pizza.
I love pizza. Matisse. Shout out.
Flushing.
How about that for a sponsor?
Hey. I've never even been there. I just call them I do that on the Slice app.
Might be the move tonight for the UFC fight.
Could be. Actually, I might go to Q Bar.
You know, I don't know if I've ever actually. Oh no, that's not true. I've eaten there with you. I think the 4 of us went there.
Yeah, we ate outside, right?
But I think that was the only time I've ever actually eaten there.
I ate there the other day. It was pretty good. The wings
Yeah,
are good.
Wings are good. I think that's what we had the last time we were there.
And then you had the margarita in the plastic bag.
Yes, that's right. It comes in almost like what you would see like at a hospital when they hook you up to an IV.
I was thinking more of like what a little kid would drink it, like pull out of a lunchbox.
Yeah, like a what are those things called? With the really
Capri
thin
Sun?
straw.
Capri Sun?
Capri Sun. That's it. Yep. Capri Sun with a Lunchable. That was me back in 3rd grade.
I have a very cold draft down my.
Yeah, no,
Back.
the cold is now spread to my special place. I'm completely frozen. It's gotten progressively colder in here as the show has gone on. So that space heater company,
Yeah,
we're looking at you,
Honeywell,
Honeywell.
Walmart,
But again, beginning of spring,
definitely back.
gonna
get warmer
that
in here.
stupid groundhog, I think, didn't see a shadow, so it might take a little bit longer.
There's
to
been some. It's weird. It's been there. It's been a few like really warm days
It was like 60 like
last week.
week, I think. Beautiful outside.
And now,
Now, chilly. Even with the lights on us. You'd think the lights would provide a little bit of warmth.
they're LED.
So GPP, back and better than ever. In the studio.
I'm excited.
How do you think it would hold up in here if we did rain? If it rained?
It might be a little noisy.
I don't know if we could do it. Or like a really like summery storm. We might actually get wet, right? Like
I'm sure there's some drippage in it.
it kind of sounds like you playing the sax.
No. It's like,
You're gonna be great at it by the time baseball season's over.
yeah, we'll see.
Or the fake baseball
Maybe-
season is over.
Like, I feel like I can't learn things I'm not passionate about.
I mean, I'm not passionate about playing the guitar, but what am I gonna do?
Then why
I
are you
got
picking that?
plenty of time now. What am I gonna learn?
I don't know.
What's
maybe
plausible?
Learn, like survival skills, like how to make a.
You think that's doable? How am I gonna learn survival skills here
I don't know. You
without putting myself in like
Go
a
into the
jungle
woods.
for a week?
go into the woods and learn how to like craft weapons.
Sounds like a terrible idea. I'd much rather write a song on the guitar.
Maybe
If that's the other option, then I'm passionate about playing the guitar.
maybe we take up fishing,
I would enjoy fishing, summer, golf.
golf. Why didn't we think?
Why didn't we think of that? Golf. That's our thing.
And that's almost every week, every other week at least.
Sure, but you can go to the driving range.
It's
on
only
board
Thursday through
anytime.
Sunday, but yeah, learning the craft of.
Yeah, I'm not talking about watching golf.
We're gonna.
Anybody could do that.
The MLB season is canceled. Our swings might be decent.
I gotta be. I'd like to make them decent, even if it's not.
Okay.
Like even let's say that there's a deal tomorrow, I still want to.
Well, the
play
place
golf.
up the street, we could probably watch baseball and
Play
swing.
golf.
Yeah.
Sure. I think golf is the better answer here.
Okay.
Much better answer.
All right. Fuck the saxophone.
Yeah.
It
Golf.
didn't work the first time. It's not gonna work.
By September, I would like us to be able. This might be a lofty goal. By September, I would like us to be able to play around.
FFP
Not
flat.
win. We're not. No. See now you're getting insane. We can play around at an average golf course and not be an embarrassment to ourselves or to the people who are with us, which is most likely Paul.
Well,
How's that? Is that doable?
you gotta specify too. Not be an embarrassment because of our games or because we get too drunk and crash the cart.
No, crashing the cart and getting drunk is fine. It's because of the game.
Okay.
Right? I don't want to. I don't want to miss the ball on any shot. How about that? Maybe twice.
You definitely need the baseball season to get canceled for that one.
You think so? I don't know. Just make contact. I'm not even saying it has to go straight. Like, just make
You're
contact.
setting the bar really high.
I mean, what we're talking like 3-4 months of practice, right? I mean, I said September, so
I mean, yeah.
May,
I was
June,
basically-
July, August.
I
Actually, like
would
5
hope-
months.
I would hope you hit the ball every time. I would hope in 3 months.
That's fine. Listen, if it goes, 3 courses over, it is what it is. We keep working at it.
If anybody asks,
It's first shot.
it's my first shot.
But, I would like to be able to play a round of golf by the middle of September. Let's call it September 15th, because that's almost like when you're starting to lose golf time because it's getting a little chilly. By September 15th, I would like to be able to play around us and not be a complete albatross, if you will, on the course. I don't want people behind us like, look at these schmucks. They've been on this hole for the last 45 minutes. They can't find the ball. They've swung and missed at the ball 3 times already. I don't want that.
Rate of play,
We may
rate
stink.
of play, rate of play, rate of
Right. We may stink and we'll lose and we'll shoot like a plus 40, but we'll get through the round decently.
What's
Is that fair? We got through the round without like
finished around?
We finished the round.
Yeah.
Like, we're not good, but we could play.
It's a worthy goal
I think a doable one too, if you ask me.
for sure. For sure.
First step would be getting clubs.
Yeah. Which I'm excited about this one.
I
Not
think
ex-
so.
I wasn't
am.
excited about the saxophone,
No, that one you're passionate about.
and I think our significant others will appreciate us not trying to bring in musical instruments into the house and learn them.
Welcome news to your former saxophone teacher too, who thought she had already killed that
Yeah.
dream for you. She didn't want that again.
Yeah,
She's already.
her ears were ringing.
She thought this was over and done with.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to hear that there's a possibility of a comeback. So,
I wonder how she feels, how she sleeps at night, knowing that she's ended.
well, I was
My
very
musical
confused. I
career.
was like, teachers aren't supposed to squash the dream, right? She's supposed to like, okay, how can we get you better at this? Maybe you don't blow funny noises into the sax during the recital. That's a good teacher. That's what you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to just say,
It wasn't
listen.
just the concerts; it was like parades and stuff we would do.
It sounds to me like she's very competitive and she wanted to like enter in like some school competition and win.
I don't think that's even a thing. I don't think there were school competitions.
Well, she didn't want to like. Maybe it was because of that kid that you said was next to you. Like that kid might have been getting frustrated with you. He might have been like, "Listen, this guy's dragging me down."
Well, he played
like
the
people are
alto-
hearing
the
your,
alto sax. I was the only tenor. I was the only one.
but you're in the same section as him, right?
Yeah.
So like, 9 out of 10 people couldn't tell the difference between a tenor sax and a regular sax.
Well, no.
If you know what to look for.
Right, but 9 out of 10 people don't. So maybe that kid was like
sound wise, it's just deeper.
right, but that kid might have been like, listen, people are watching our concerts. They're hearing this fucking ridiculous sound coming from our section. They're gonna think it's me.
You can't even read music.
He can't even read music. So maybe it was him. Maybe he put pressure on the teacher. You got to get this kid out of here. This kid stinks. Just get me somebody who like just doesn't do anything.
So like, all right, I'll give it a second because we are in an active garage. That's another thing because like there's so many of the other instruments, saxophone. There's only like a few in the band.
A few saxophone players.
Yeah, there's like 3 or 4 sax players.
How many? You? 2 others?
It was me playing tenor and 3 altos, and that was it for the whole band. And then there's like 8 to 10 clarinet players. There's like 6 or 7 flute players. There's like 12 trumpet players.
Well,
So all they're hearing is trumpets, clarinets, and flutes. So like, what is my little playing? Whatever the
Yeah.
fuck I want.
right.
Matter. Does anyone hear it?
Teacher did. Obviously, somebody did because the kid next to you got like a. You said he went to like some music school, right? So somebody picked up on what he was doing.
NISMA.
New York State Music Academy
Something like that. I don't know.
could be.
Obviously, I
NISMA
wasn't
sounds right.
Qualified.
No, you weren't making NISMA, but you could make a decent golfer.
Yeah, I think that's
Definitely a more attainable goal.
better odds.
Agreed. I'm in for the golf. I'm in for it. What is your strategy on clubs? You have them, or you need them?
I have a few.
So maybe we go and like get a couple.
Yeah, I think I need a putter or a driver.
Maybe we go to like a Dick's, take a ride.
I'm down. Yeah.
I need everything. There's nothing I have.
My brother got me a bag.
Okay,
I have a bag.
so that's good. It's one less
And
thing.
then I have my grandfather's irons.
But you also have to make sure that like they fit you, right? Like it has to be something that's like tailored to you. Otherwise, it's useless.
I mean, I've used these before.
Okay, right. But look how you played.
Yeah, but
I've used, I think,
Paul's backup clubs,
yes,
right?
and that was dreadful. And Paul's a good golfer, so it's more about the person swinging the stick.
Were
than it
those
is
ones
about
also the
sticks.
ones banging around the bed of your truck? for
Yeah,
a year?
yeah. Year is generous. Might have been longer.
So they couldn't be rusty.
No, they're gone. I need new ones.
Okay.
Those are useless. I threw those out a long time ago.
Okay.
They were just taking up space, and they were rusted from the rain and everything else, snow that was covering them.
What's this
Yeah.
thing made out of? Steel?
Steel. All right, we're gonna be good golfers because I don't think baseball's coming back. But we'll hope. Don't put into the universe that we don't want baseball back because we do. We want it back,
But
but we also want to be decent.
Okay, well, yeah. So we're gonna start this regardless. When do we start?
When we get clubs.
Okay. When is this? Next week?
Sure. You ordering them online, or you like going to the store?
I think we could just go to the store.
Clubs are expensive too, aren't they?
I don't think I need a full set. I'm gonna do a little audit of what I have.
Like a decent set of clubs is probably like $1,100. If I had to
I
guess.
don't think so. I think you get them in sets.
Mm-hmm.
Let's look.
The active garage feel is fun. I think it's like a. We ain't bullshitting here. We're serious.
We're in a garage.
There's no bullshit in here. This is we are in a garage, an actual garage, freezing our ass off now.
I see a set of Wilson.
It's also probably not good for our lungs, right? Breathing in all these fumes.
Well, then it's not like they're running.
Not like the cars are running, right?
No. I see them around from 300 up.
For a whole set.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's like Chinese brands, obviously, that are lower than that, but I obviously wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
But, you don't want a huge investment for something that, it may end up being like saxophone for me. We may get a call from the manager of the driving range and saying, hey, sorry, this isn't for you.
Yeah. See, I don't think that's gonna happen because you're paying for this. Anything you're paying for, they're not gonna want to get rid of you. They will literally let you stand there and take 17 hacks at the ball before you hit it, and just say, "You're doing great, Billy. Give us the $50 to be here." Every time. They will never tell you that it's not for you. In your heart, you'll know this is not for me,
Yeah.
but nobody will ever tell you that.
But also, I think like just a little bit of effort, I'll be infinitely better at golf than already. Already, I know I'm infinitely better at golf than I was at saxophone.
Well, I agree that we'll be better at golf than we would at an instrument, but I also agree that at least speaking for myself, I've never put in 1 ounce of work to being a better golfer. I've never done anything. I've never taken a lesson. I've played, but I've never actually like tried, right? Like I've never been like, okay, teach me to do this. I may have asked Paul, hey, listen, what do I do here?
A lot of it's too like knowing just what club to use. Like once you get your swing a little better, where you're just hitting the ball.
Well, there's
like,
different swings, right? Different power.
hitting the ball in the air and a little bit straight, like a little bit straight.
Just a little. One of my biggest fears is with golf? That first tee, when everybody's watching you, you got the girl who sits there and like tells you, okay, you're teeing off now. And she's sitting there, and the people who are teeing off behind you are sitting there, and they're all just watching you tee off. And then you just fucking absolutely just whiff. Rip it would be wonderful.
I was saying ribbit, like
Oh, like right into the ground?
yeah.
Right. And then you got to like awkwardly replace your ball on the tee, look behind you, and everybody's like,
Yeah, it's not good if you can walk and get your ball.
Everybody behind you is like, oh
Like,
my God,
just
we're going to
like-
play behind these guys?
Like an arm's distance, and just reach and grab wherever
Right.
it was.
And automatically from that one swing, everybody behind you knows that they're about to have a very, very slow day of golf. Because they know that you are not going to be any kind of pace of play.
I feel like it's just too quiet too sometimes.
Golf?
Yeah, I feel like I need a version of golf.
Well, golf is supposed to be quiet.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like I need a version of golf where like
You need music playing.
you have people talking shit behind you.
Music playing, maybe like a DJ on the course.
Like
Get the-
NBA,
you
at
gotta
the free-
feel loose.
Like NBA at the free throw line, you got the fans throwing the thunder sticks. You
Sure.
got, you got the
Sure.
you got Kevin Garnett talking shit to you. I need that version of
You
golf.
need that. Okay. Well, you're not going to get that on the golf course.
Hey, you can supply a little bit of hey.
No, you're going to throw me off.
You will never make this putt.
Yeah, jackass. Yeah. That's one of my biggest things. Because once you're out there, you're out there. Then it's just you and your friends or whoever you're
Yeah.
with. Then whatever. If you stink, the only person seeing it is you and your friends. But on that first tee, there's a lot of people watching you.
Could be.
So I think my first lesson would be to try to get better. Try to at least learn the drive. Try to learn how to use a driver.
Which
Because
is
if I could master
that's
that,
the easiest.
I
one
can
to
figure out the
practice.
rest.
That's the easiest one to practice.
Well, yeah. I mean, you can go to a driving range literally
Yeah.
and just practice that over and over and over again until you get decent at it. But
But then you have to learn how to hit every club and then know your distances too.
sure, putter is a whole nother game. You could be great at the driver, great with the irons, great with the wedges. Then all of a sudden, your putter, you 5-putt,
Or
and
the
your
other
day
way
is ruined.
around. You could be bad with, your irons and your driver,
And be a
make up
great
for it-
putter.
Make up for it with the putter.
Sure.
But
Sure.
we're gonna find out.
We are going to find out. We're going to find out. We're going to be good golfers by the time September rolls around. I'm confident of it. September 15th is my deadline. I would like to be a decent golfer by September 15th. That gives us plenty of time to learn.
regardless of if baseball is back or not.
Correct. But we still want baseball back. We want to be good golfers and
Yes,
we want baseball
yes.
back. So
Okay.
we'll put that into the universe.
Go to church.
Go to church. I'm going to go tomorrow.
Which church?
Probably the one in Long Island. Because did I tell
Oh.
you we met with the priest who's going to be doing the wedding?
No.
We met with him Thursday. Nice guy.
Okay.
Let me tell you something. If I go to church tomorrow,
And baseball.
And baseball's back?
I may join you next Sunday.
I may have to keep going
and maybe
because miracles are real.
I'll join the church band and I'll play saxophone for them. Because then I'll just know in my heart that if they kick me out,
That's right. You know who will never
Really
tell you
not
that
my
you're not
thing.
good enough? Jesus.
that's what I'm hoping.
Jesus will always welcome
I
you
heard
into his band.
I heard church is a great place to go for answers.
Sure.
So
And I'm trying to find one tomorrow for baseball. Trying to find one. That's why I'm going. We'll see.
ask them if they need a tenor sax.
You think I'm joking? I'm going to send a Snapchat picture tomorrow of me in the pew with a Met hat on.
I don't think hats are allowed in church.
I won't wear it. I'll take it off. But there has to be some semblance of baseball in there that needs to get blessed because we need something. We need an exorcism of some kind. Something needs to happen. Because the way that's going right now, not going anywhere fast. So we need a little divine intervention.
Jesus, take the wheel.
That's right. Garage Party Podcast. We're back. Returned. Episode 1. We'll see if we're back for episode 2 before hypothermia sets in while we're in here.
It's getting pretty chilly.
It's getting a little chilly.
My hands are not.
So I
keep
figured we would
touching the
wrap it
metal
up.
stand.
Same. I'm trying to like keep warm by moving a little bit, But it's chilly. But we're back. Garage Party Podcast is back. Be sure to subscribe to us. Spotify, Apple. It's been a while since I've done this. Spotify,
I don't think
Google
Google wants to
Podcasts.
get- They know
iTunes,
if they got this far.
YouTube. Did I leave anyone out?
SoundCloud.
SoundCloud. That's the one. SoundCloud, which is weird. That's like our host.
Yes.
All right. So we're back. We calling this episode 1? This is episode 1. Season 3. We'll come up with that. We'll come up with a title. We need a good title.
Oh, the titles used to be our thing.
Yeah, they were good. We'll come up with something.
Yeah.
We'll be back next week. Next weekend, we'll call it.
When are we?
I want to give you a hard date just in case. We're really in a garage here, so this is kind of weather permitting. We're not in like Billy's studio anymore. This is like, if it rains, we're kind of screwed. We can't do that.
Should we do a Monday release?
I like a Monday release. Monday releases are good.
We used to do it Friday.
Yeah. So maybe we do Mondays now. Gives you like that whole Sunday to edit if you want. Right. All right. So we'll be back next week. Week 2. Be sure to tune back in. Follow us along in our journey. Hopefully there's an update about baseball. Most likely not, though.
If you have any golf tips.
Any golf tips,
them our
definitely
way.
send them our way. We need them. We need every tip we can get. All right.
Play us out with some music.